Testing, 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 and testing. Welcome to the 2020 APTA National Championships presented by our local sponsors BTIG and APTA national sponsors Viking and Uline. We are live from the Country Club of Darien in Fairfield, Connecticut on the APTA network presented by eNet Live. I'm Jerry Viant along with Mark Fischel.
Back where we belong again, Jerry.
Back in the seat here. And we're going to be showing you this women's semifinal between the number 6 seeds, Marcy Elliott and Marcella Rodezno, and they are playing the number 3 seeds, Cynthia Dardis and Amy Shay. and we are going to have a lot of crowd participation in this match, Mark.
Raucous, one might say, Jerry
Yeah.
Vion.
I mean, it's only fitting, right? The largest number of players in a women's nationals, 128 team draw, and we've got these 4 players here, one of them down the other end, which you'll run through, but Macy, this is her home club, and all 4 are teaching professionals in the Connecticut area, so...
And Dardis and Shay are legends here. They've had huge support throughout the weekend. Won the Children's Cup last night.
Yes.
A big ovation.
And just explain that before we go on to them.
Most points in the top 4 results in the 5 APTA Grand Prix events.
Right.
So, and when that Nationals were here in 2016, they had huge support.
So why don't you introduce the players? And
so this is Macy Elliott, foremost in your screen in the teal jacket. And then her partner, Marcella Rodezno, to her left. And at the net, without the hat on and the blue jacket, is Amy Shay. And her partner in the red and blue hat is Cynthia Dardis. And obviously we've seen Dardis and Shay numerous times. Been top 5 in the country the last 15, 20 years. Made the finals of nationals here. And historically, nationals has not been their best event.
So the big story right here of this match is the incredible rise of Marcella Rodezno and Macy Elliott. The beginning of the season in Chicago, they were unseeded. And now they've worked their way through, and we've just watched them get better and better and better as the season has evolved. And, you know, they had a big tournament in Philly a couple of weeks ago, lost in the final to the #1 players in the country, but on the way defeated Delmonico Gebier and Zaboria Andrekova.
And going back to Chicago where they made the semis, Macy Elliott was clearly really nervous, first time on the live stream, and she played like she was really nervous. She competed hard, but then by the time we got to Philadelphia, she was just an old hand at it, and they really won a straight set battle over Andrekova. Zaboria.
Yes.
Played great. Beat him again earlier today in 3 sets.
Why don't you go?
And I really get the feeling they're here to win. They're not here to make the semis. They're not excited about that win. They're here to win.
You're absolutely spot on, Mark. I called that match. And Macy Elliott, they played a good, close first set. They lost it in a tiebreak. And I mentioned to Patty, I said, you know what? Macy looks ticked off to me early in the second set. And she was. But she used it. You know, she used that fight. She really expected to win that tiebreak. And you can do one of 2 things when you lose a close battle like that and you're new to the sport. You can just kind of fade away. Or you can buckle down. And that's what she did.
Welcome you to the semifinals of the 2020 National Championships.
Chair umpire
to my
Lori
right,
Hissey.
Cynthia Dardis and Amy Shay, hailing from Wilton, Connecticut, and Cynthia's from Stamford, Connecticut. Macy Elliott from Darien, and Marcella Rodezno from Monroe, Connecticut.
Yeah, I think they were down a set 3-1 and ended up winning, 11 of the last 13 games. Just really dominated play.
Well, you know what? It was 4-1 in the third, but it still felt like 4-all. And one of the big turnarounds was in the first set. Rodezno was serving first, and they had a lot more success with Macy Elliott's serve because it's like the low and go, and she was able to keep the ball below the level of the net, and it stopped Zaboria and Andrekova being able to thump their returns.
Yeah, you can definitely see the Zaboria forehand kind of coming and going a little bit. I know she whacked a couple off the back wires, but testimony to Elliott. Rodezno made a lot of volleys, put some pressure on him.
They won that match.
No question.
They won it. I mean, it was a high-level women's play. It was really exciting. So now this is a whole nother.
Big applause crowd, for Macy Elliott.
Yeah, this is
one of those.
It's a whole nother mindset here for Elliott and Rodezno. I'm not sure if they have not played. Actually, they've not competed against Dardis and Shay in a tournament. They have played one practice match, and as we know, Dardis and Shay are master tacticians and masters at controlling the speed of play. They will not be rushed.
So you work here with Carl?
It's going to be interesting because Dardis and Shay are always the favorites in Fairfield County. And this is going to be unique because I believe that Macy Elliott's going to get more crowd support.
We'll see if it's a factor. You know, then they're not used to the crowds participating in the match. You know, the rest of the tour, and here they were, or at least in that quarterfinal match, they were clearly a large part of the match.
And they were loud.
Yeah.
It was just awesome to see.
There was a good showing from Fox Meadow too, and on Drakova. She's from the Field Club. Yep, you can see. You can see the crowds will be filling in. The sun is going to be directly in the southwest corner, so any balls going into that side back screen, the player is going to be looking directly into the sun.
Yeah, but I don't see that sun impacting your game at all, Jerry. You're going to be fine. You've dealt with the sun a lot of times.
Sure am.
Not going to impact how you call the match.
You lob down the line, and I'll be able to see that ball coming in.
I guess we're waiting for the players, maybe a quick bathroom break.
Yeah. So, you know, there's one thing to have such a huge win in the national championships as Macy and Marcella. Now, I'm going to be interested to see how they come out. Are they ready mentally to be able to repeat? Do they know that feeling? Do they know how to contain it and use it? Or is it a clean slate and they have to start all over again? That's what I'll be interested to see. Why don't we take a look at the draw just while we have a few minutes and see the path. You see them down the bottom of the screen.
2 and 6 in the 16s, and then the battle with Andrekova Zabori we talked about. I was talking to Carl Levinat, co-tournament director and the director of racket sports here, and he said he asked Macy kind of a trick question before the weekend, and he said, before the draw came out, he said, is there anybody you don't want to play? You know, expecting her to throw out a name of a team, which is the exact wrong thing to do if you're here to win. And Macy said, nope, I'm ready to beat everybody.
Good to hear. And you see the Dardis and Shay played Guillaume and Mollivel, and that was 4-1.
They beat Guillaume and Kerry Flynn when the Nationals were here in 2016 in the quarters. So a similar path for them. And then with the absence of Cruz Nicolescu, that just really kind of opened up the whole tournament because they have been the dominant team on the women's side of the tour, winning the last 2 Nationals. Gabby Nicolescu actually had a baby yesterday.
Yes.
I was texting with her, asking her if she was coming to play today. I guess the baby was on Thursday.
She was going to guest commentate with us.
I thought she was going to play. I would put nothing past Gabby. So smart here of Rodezno and Macy, Elliott to be hitting some balls while we're waiting for Dardis and Shay to come back.
Yeah, you can see that motion of Macy there, Macy Elliott down the far end, and she's got that very low ball toss, and she can put some spin on it. She comes around the outside of the ball, but the key is it stays very, very low.
I'm not really sure where Dardis and Shay are. I mean, the warm-up is over. The players should be starting the match. Here they come. Do you think this is all mental, Jerry?
I think they have their routine. Dardis and Shay are very deliberate about everything that they do. They'll have a game plan.
And Shay.
Now, I must say I'm a little surprised by how animated Cynthia Dardis is, because once that first serve gets hit,
Amy, let me give you a new ball.
her expression doesn't change.
No, she's super intense.
There's not. She's an economy of movement and emotion.
Hey,
she has a poker face, so I'm
Marcella.
very surprised to see her jumping up and down like that. But it is her in her backyard. She does have a lot of support.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get your attention.
And I'm sure she's trying to just stay loose.
This has to be one of the longer warm-ups in women's semifinal history.
On the other court next to us, we have the other semi-final with Prop and Spiz are playing against the #1 seeds, Cooper and Harnish.
Ladies, please watch your foot faulting. I will be calling it.
Still waiting to find out about the Burser-Doya-Bredberg-Nolan match. as well as Broderick Palmer, Crick Lofgren. We'll hope to get you from final results there.
That's up on the men playing up on the top courts. And following these two women's semi-final matches, we'll be playing the men's quarterfinals.
You can really see this stand starting to fill in. There are people everywhere, Jerry. Just a great atmosphere. And again, Carl Levinas, co-tournament director, has done such a marvelous job with the setup he first created in 2016, and then we upped the number of seats from, I think, about 500 to 850 this year. And I don't think there's going to be a seat in the house for the men's quarters.
I doubt it.
Barbecue starting at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, the hospitality tent's set up. If you're in the area, there is parking. They have a shuttle bus running everybody in, and there'll be food and drink available.
I tell you, after that greeting for Dardis and Shay, I'm not sure who the crowd's going to be rooting for. I thought Macy Elliott, but we'll find out shortly. I tell you, just a tremendous story over here, Jerry. Heather Propp making the semis. They didn't know if they were going to play. Wendy Spiz originally wasn't sure of her schedule, and she hurt her knee skiing.
And Heather Propp also had surgery.
Heather Propp had knee surgery about 4 weeks ago, right after Midwesterns, but she was planning on playing. And here they are in the semis with a chance to win a national championship, something that has eluded her in her illustrious career.
Yes, Heather's the head of the Women's Players Committee. I'd be interested to see who serves first for Elliott and Rodezno. The previous match, Rodezno started serving the first set, and they had more success with Elliott with that low ball toss I was telling you about, and so they switched, and she actually went 2 or 3 service games, maybe only losing a point or 2. It was very effective.
Yeah, it's hard to generate your own pace. Some players just don't do it well.
And it's below the level of the net. It's not like you're hitting up and you can roll it down.
All right, are we ready?
We are ready. Yes, yes, Lori Hissey.
Take another one, Cynthia.
All right, I
Scott
have not
coming
heard.
in very gracefully as he got caught in the Velcro.
Okay.
That never happens to Kelly Diesel.
All right, Rodezno Elliott won the toss. They elected to receive. And you guys are starting on this side? Okay. Once again, I'd like to welcome you to the 2020 semifinal of the APTA Nationals. To my right, Amy Shay and Cynthia Dardis. To my left, Macy Elliott and Marcella Rodezno.
Okay.
Cynthia,
ready, Mark?
To serve.
Ready. Okay, so Cynthia Dardis to get us started, serving to Macy Elliott.
And take a look at Amy Shay's positioning right off the bat. Standing further to the right than she normally does.
And as we talked about yesterday, Jerry, in our Viking Keys to Winning, embracing the moment, not getting caught up in the big crowds and just playing paddle is always the challenge in moments like these. And you can see right away, Dardis and Shay have been working with Jim Kaufman. A lot of soft dump overheads.
which is not easy for Amy Shay to hit. She's the player on the left. But you'll see her wobble a little bit with her
15.
paddle. Cynthia Dardis has a much easier time hitting that push overhead because she has a continental grip. But Amy's the one who usually slices it and cuts it.
A lot of smiling from Dardis and Shay, Jerry. Was that a sign of, is that a good sign or a bad sign?
I just not ever seen this before.
Yeah.
I've never seen this animation from her.
Yeah, she cannot dump that overhead to the Macy Elliott backhand. That is a shot that generates lots of pace.
Cynthia Dardis is on the left, and they usually try to set her up. She's got a very nice drop shot. She can hit it off of the overhead too. But like I said, she's the one who's got more success with that push overhead.
Great exchange of the net, and the crowd erupts for Amy Shay.
15-0.
See, Mark, take a look at where Amy Shay's standing. She's
15-30.
normally 2 or 3 boards over to the left when Cynthia's serving. So she's trying to be a little bit more imposing. But it means if Marcella Rodezno goes down the line, she'll have to reach for that first volley.
Couple of
Correct.
faults from Dardis takes us to 15-40.
15-40.
Sounds like Cooper Hanisch up 3-2 in the first set. There's Shay looking for that nick. She's so good at finding it. You see Rodezno in the trailer position trying to help her partner.
We're going to get these lobs up higher and deeper. Anything short like that, and Amy Shay will line up the nick with her slice overhead. Oh,
But Dardis clearly
30,
lost that
40.
ball in the sun. This will be a big game to pull out from 15-40. Oh, great hands. Nope, she misses the forehand.
Game.
And I really think
Elliott,
a
Rodezno,
good start
they
is
lead 1
essential
game to love in the first set.
yeah,
for
I mean,
Elliott Rodezno.
absolutely. You don't want to have that letdown, having such a big win in the round before, but it's very hard to keep that concentration and focus after such a big win. So
And Dardis and Shay don't need anything. They're going to compete. They're going to be there at the end.
okay, Macy Elliott is going to serve first. Low and go serve. Here it is.
And I look for Elliott Rodezno to try and get Dardis out of position, and Elliott exploited
Wow.
with the big hard overhead.
Love 15.
Cynthia Dardis goes for a low percentage cross-court winner and pulls it off.
Great volley there from
15.
Rodezno.
Oh.
And
They
it
volleyed
start-
very well in the match before, and Macy Elliott gets down low and straddles that center line. She really shut down the high percentage area like that.
And it's starting to look to me like it's more of a Dardis Shay crowd. Great lob from Amy Shay there.
Great lob because she pulled Macy behind Rodezno, so back and to her right.
But that is not a winning overhead there. And that's what got them in trouble. You cannot hit that hard
15,
overhead when it
30.
goes back side. It's fine side back, but when it comes out like that, Amy Shay's overhead will, backhand will tear you up. Looked like Marcella Rodezno didn't know the score there. She lined up on the
15-30.
other side of the court.
15-30.
Smart play by Amy Shay.
Okay, now look at the court positioning of Elliott and Rodezno. They're going to close that gap.
Great volleying. Boy, great exchange.
Yeah, their solid court positioning has kept them in and ultimately got the win. They were able to handle the big drives of Zabori and Ondrakova. So Macy Elliott has a lot of variety on her overhead.
Can hit the roller, can hit the hard one.
She
Dumps it like that.
She can slash it. She holds it. They're keeping the overhead straight.
That's great volleying, great positional volleying from
exactly
Rodezno.
Exactly what the number one thing that they're doing well is they're playing their thirds. They're shutting down the two high percentage areas of the court. It's a sneaky little backhand down the line, Cynthia Dardis.
40-30.
Boy, Rodezno Elliott look really good early, don't they, Jerry?
Yeah, they do. They look comfortable and they look solid. Oh, it's the Amy Shay. She actually, that ball was right up above her waist there, and she'll swoop down on it. She can hit a dime.
Yeah, that's
Advantage
a ball
server.
Dardis has got a lob. Too deep in the court, moving backwards, transferring her weight in the wrong direction.
Yeah, but look how Macy Elliott shut down that attack and counter-attack. So she took the speed away from the drive, and her volley, she arced back so it went soft, straight, and deep. And that's really the winning combination when you've got somebody driving hard.
Ball was good.
Call overruled by chair umpire Hissey, and it's back to deuce. See how Rodezno and Elliott handle this.
Sorry.
So the players, just to clarify, the players are calling their own lines, but if asked the umpire,
Out.
her ruling
Advantage server.
is final. So the umpire is not calling the lines during the match.
Ball was wide.
Wide
Game.
for a 2-love
Elliott
lead
Rodezno, they lead 2-0 in the first set.
to Elliott Rodezno. Amy Shay.
A great get on the nick. And they, Dardis Shay have some miscommunication,
15.
which is really rare.
It's early, Mark. They're not dictating the speed of play like they normally do. And by the speed of play, it's the time in between the points.
Great lob from
That's
Rodezno,
it.
just opened up the whole court.
She is
Love
seamless.
30.
She doesn't really have a weakness.
Drives the ball off of both wings,
Very
volleys
smooth,
well.
Very smooth.
I remember seeing her play a couple years ago, and she kind of stopped playing a lot.
15-30.
Yeah, she's got like a quiet power. She hits the ball hard, but her technique is so good.
She weighs about 85 pounds. But that ball just explodes off her paddle. Another great lob.
Former Fed Cup player from Salvador. And
We have a lot of those playing paddle.
And she is working at the Patterson Club with her fellow Fed Cup tennis player and friend, Liz Cruz.
And again, you see Rodezno just opened up the court with her lobbing and left Elliott with a relatively simple backhand. Shay misses her forehand wide. That's that precise shot you're talking about.
They've just shut them down. They're playing them straight and making Dardis and Shay have to take a risk.
Cooper Hanisch up 5-2. First set. That's great hard overhead from Amy Shay right at Macy Elliott. She's unable to get out of the way. Shot Elliott's very familiar with. She hits that ball very similarly.
Nice move.
Great blitz. Love, Elliott Rodezno, and this is a dream start for them, Jerry.
That is fleet of foot. Amy Shay didn't know how close Macy Elliott was. Closed the net beautifully.
Well, Dardis and Shay are giving away a couple of years. 7 or 8, would you say that, Jerry?
I mean, seriously, kudos to them.
Unbelievable. I think Cynthia Dardis is 58. Just remarkable to be competing at this level at that age.
3 games to love in the first set. Elliott Rodezno.
Marcella Rodezno to serve.
15 love.
Dardis and Shay just a little flat, Jerry. A lot of forehand misses, types of shot you don't expect them to miss.
Early days, Mark.
It's not so early in the first set.
Yep, so the play is straight.
There's the switch at the net to get Macy Elliott's overhead in the middle.
And they weren't actually doing that in their match before, which was interesting because Elliott's definitely got more variety on the overhead. So that's an adjustment that they've made. Fabulous lob by Amy Shay over Marcella Rodezno's left shoulder. Pulled Macy Elliott back and around. And the dilemma is always where to hit that next overhead.
30-15.
Cynthia does hit another return into the net.
Looks like first set to Cooper Hanisch on the next court.
Nice cover by Rodezno. Lob was good.
And that one was long. Great lob for Shay.
30 all.
30 all. Chance to get on the board here for Dardis Shay.
You can see it doesn't have to be that big a shot.
Nope.
So Cynthia does just calibrated it, but she picked her spot.
Deuce.
Good swing from Amy Shay. Right ball to hit. Just can't miss it in the net.
It's just attack and counter-attack. They're not giving any pace or any angle, but Cynthia stepped in and found the right hip of Macy Elliott. And they're on the board.
Shay, and they're on the board. Rodezno
Game,
and Elliott are
Dardis
changing
and Shay,
sides, but it's only 3
They
love.
trail 3-1 in the first set.
So Amy Shay, you see they're finding the right hip.
Okay, so we've got confirmation. Broderick and Palmer are through. 7-6, 3-6, 6-2. And they'll face our defending national champions, Araya Parsons, in a blockbuster quarterfinal. I don't even have to ask you if that match is going to be streamed, since all the quarters are going to be streamed. But I suspect you would have showed that one no matter what.
I think so. Nice grab, nice hands.
Oh!
Oh!
Dardis and Shay looked like they were in trouble there, and they came out on top.
15 love.
Not too many empty seats out there, Jerry. I see our sponsor section has a few, but rest of the bleachers are packed. Look at all the people standing around the court.
And here we are into the speed of play that Dardis and Shay like.
Another great lob from Rodezno. Oh, that ball was flying.
You can hear them calling every ball because the conditions are really gusty. The wind's carrying that ball.
Rodezno misses that one.
See, Mark, this is what I'm talking about. This speed of play between the matches. They make sure they're on the same page. They know who's going to hit what type of serve. They're not going to be rushed. That's a good lob, pulled her out of the service box. So they're keeping Macy Elliott out of the play right now, off the deck.
They've clearly decided she's the one they want to keep from beating them.
Oh, she hit some tremendous backhand drives in her quarterfinal.
Great
Well
trail
played.
from Marcella Rodezno. The ball pops out. She hits a great shot.
30-15.
Didn't try to overplay it. Picked her spot. Amy Shay sometimes tends to stay too far off the net. She doesn't get in tight. And that leaves her exposed, getting the ball popped down at her feet.
40-15.
Couple points for their first hold. You can hear the wind howling outside.
Yeah, it's tricky conditions, especially for the lobs.
That's a big return from Macy Elliott. Yep. See the wind just yanked that ball wide. We saw a lip of air lob in the last match hit the side wire on the fly. Matt Garavaglia thought he aimed it there. I think it was the wind. Another point for a hold. Great call from Macy Elliott, looking for the hold.
You see Amy Shay calling for these overheads, and she's got that little cut overhead. She lets the ball drop, and she cuts down the back of it so it keeps it deep in the court and low in the screen. And she loves to aim for that nick.
And hits it frequently, twice this game. There's a big forehand from Rodezno.
Marcella Rodezno, she loves the ball shoulder high. She gets that bounce roll right on the top of it.
But she was much more active with her feet there. She's been watching too many of her lobs. That one she hit good and deep, and then she stepped in and caught the ball early and stole time.
Service out.
Serve long, and all of a sudden from 40-15,
receiver.
point for 4-1. See, that's a forehand. Rodezno's got a spot a little better. There she hit Shay right in the left hip, and her paddle was just sitting there.
It's that little push overhead. You see how Dardis has such a flat back of the paddle. There's absolutely no pace on that ball that she's giving them, and there's no spin. So
And
it's effective.
And that's clearly coming from Jim Kaufman. That's not a shot we've seen.
Well,
Dardis
she's always had that shot. She's always used that shot, but now she's using it more often.
Elliott, Rodezno,
Okay,
they lead
come
4
back
games
for
to
4-1.
1 in the
All
first
right,
set.
we want to thank Viking Athletics. They're the premier brand and the undisputed leader in platform tennis. Viking is platform tennis. The Viking Extra Duty Platform Ball has been the #1 selling ball in the industry for the last 20 years. It is the official ball of the APTA, of the APTA Nationals and President's Cup, and of the Grand Prix Tour.
Jerry, look at everybody streaming in.
Yeah.
Having to wait for the changeover. Wow. And then 50 people just came in, 50 additional ones.
And both the stands on the other side are filling up too.
Isn't this awesome?
Yeah.
I said to someone, it's like Christmas Day if you're a paddle fan.
Yeah.
This is the best day of the year. We have a pretty good seat, too.
We do.
I know
Getting a
my seat
sunburn.
is good because it's next to you.
Oh, very nice of you, Mark.
Okay, here we go. Macy Elliott to serve.
We're
4-1.
standing up.
Yeah. My seat is next to yours. It's great recovery from Elliott there.
Look at the net positioning, Mark. That's
perfect.
why they're being so successful about shutting down the drives. Even you can hear the sound of the drive, whack, and the counter of the volley is boof. So she's not attacking an attack. Macy Elliott's diffusing the drive.
Now here they're not switching to get the Elliott overhead in the middle. At least they haven't yet.
Yeah, like I said, they didn't do that in the last match at all.
Great overhead from Elliott. She used that so effectively against Andrekova, and I know that was part of the game plan today against Dardis.
Well, so far, Macy and Rodezno have picked up right where they left off from the quarterfinals.
Haven't missed a beat.
They're in control.
How low Marcella Rodezno gets on that lob. That's lobbing with your legs.
Yep. She's making Amy Shay look up and move back out of the service box, and that opens up the drive for Macy Elliott. Steps in.
Love.
Same rhythm. They have the same rhythm off the deck.
Textbook right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great volley. Dardis spotted that ball perfectly.
Now they're switching at net. It's a smart volley to volley that ball straight.
Oh, that Amy Shay ball crawled over the net.
And see how
30,
early Amy Shay
15.
sets her paddle. So that paddle was set before the ball hit the deck. She just picked her spot.
Great volley, great get.
Oh, wheels by Amy Shay.
That's a great drive from Dardis. Causes Elliott to flip the paddle, and then she gets pushed back and misses the
30
overhead.
all.
You can just kind of feel Dardis and Shay kind of pulling them into the mud, slowing the play
Right,
down,
they're trying to.
getting the tempo, their style. No more bang, bang paddle. Oh, Amy Shay will not be happy with
Advantage
that
server.
miss. That lob was out by 3 feet. Point for 5-1.
They're really not giving Dardis and Shay anything to attack. Their overheads are well placed, deep in the court, not too much speed. Too close to Amy Shay. She swoops.
Yep. That was a bad overhead from Elliott. She wasn't under pressure, and she got that too close to the middle, and a great job by Amy Shay. That's
Advantage
Dardis'
server.
bread and butter. Little hesitant on that one. Let the ball drop a little bit.
It's pretty unusual in a national semi-final to have two teams face each other that haven't seen each other play during the season. So there's still that feeling out of which board is the safe board.
Great forehand there for Amy Shay.
Yep.
I don't think there's much doubt right now who the crowd's rooting for, Jerry.
Yes. Elliott Rodezno need to shut Amy Shay down right now. Not give her another ball. Can feel that she's getting her timing and her range.
And she's the one doing all the damage right now.
And she waits. She'll wait. Cynthia Dardis can hit 900 lobs, and she'll find that spot. They cannot put the ball in the middle of the court.
That was
Advantage
a really
receiver.
bad overhead from Marcella Rodezno there. Point for 4-2. They've got to do a better job keeping the ball away from the Shay forehand. Here it comes.
Nice touch.
Misses it wide.
Nice touch by Marcella Rodezno.
Deuce.
That's the part, the bang bang paddle, that Dardis and Shay don't want to play. And it all started with the bad lob, and Macy Elliott had them moving with the power on her overhead.
Advantage, Elliott.
Yeah, clearly Amy Shay's forehand is the weapon on the court, and she can float around on that baseline and pick spots. It's hard. Oh, it's a mental error. She
Deuce.
lost it in the sun.
Potentially.
All those little things add up.
Advantage, receiver.
Oh, nice hands by Rodezno.
While she was bailing. That's great overhead from Elliott. And again, she puts so much
Deuce.
pressure on them when they hit that short lob. They know they're going to pay for it.
Dardis and Shay do such a great job of allowing their opponents to self-destruct if they can control the rhythm and tempo. They just don't go away.
Here it comes. Dardis was running early. Another spectacular pickup. Last one from Rodezno, this one from Elliott while she was backing up.
That's not the... Oh, she caught the seam. She's got to be careful that spot on the court. And
Advantage,
also
Elliott.
the speed of the overhead into that back screen.
Another point for 5-1. A great spot from Amy Shay. I think she spots that forehand better than
Deuce.
anybody
Yep.
in the game.
Definitely.
That smart bail from Rodezno. And again, that first ball was right at the
Advantage
Dardis
receiver.
left hip, not at the right hip, made for a relatively easy volley.
Looked like she quit on that swing.
Another smart bail from Rodezno. That wind is swirling.
Yep.
And again, you can just see it pushes everything wide.
That was a big momentum swing right there
Game,
for Dardis and Shay.
Shay. They
3 or
trailed
4
2
points
games to 4
To
in
get
the
up
first set.
5-1.
They're going to replay of Amy Shay's forehand.
And there you see Marcella Rodezno way too close to the middle of the court, and she could barely reach that ball with a forehand volley. Needed to slide over earlier. Tour director Jackie Cameron out there providing Lori Hissey with some additional balls. Jackie's done a wonderful job this week, as she does at every tournament.
That's our APTA tour director for all
Okay.
the Grand Prix tournaments.
Amy Shay to serve, 2-4, first set. I love the combination, the thumper and then the soft one.
That's the first real look at the backhand that Macy's got. That's a wonderful lob. Caused a little confusion there with Dardis and Shay, which is not easy to do.
I just think Rodezno's not moving into the court enough when she hits that great lob to put herself in position. Great spot. That's a great spot right there, but then she lets
She
that ball
waits.
drop too
yeah,
far.
she waits. Macy Elliott could
15
take a
love.
chance and sneak in and blitz on a couple of these high, deep lobs that Marcelo is setting up.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah, she's really looking up there a long time just to change it up a little bit.
Give her
You-
something else to think about.
Yeah, you can see that Dardis and Shay are settling down. Look at that gap at net to the right. Yep. Cynthia does. I'm
15
surprised they're standing
all.
so much in the middle of the service box, baiting them to either go down the line. But even if Marcelo Rodezno goes down the line, Cynthia Dardis is going to have to reach for that volley.
And even with that, she still found the Shay forehand
Yeah.
volley there.
Yeah.
Consecutive let cord serves in the box for Amy Shay. Wow.
30-15.
Again, it's to the pace of Dardis and Shay between the points. So Elliott and Rodezno have to stay energized.
30 all.
You know, that in between, that keep that adrenaline going, keep your feet going, keep moving forward. That's it, Kelly. You got it.
He can produce, he can dance. He can't play. Great volley from Shay. That's a
Nice
great
spot.
spot there from Rodezno. All set up by the big
30-40.
Elliott forehand.
Yeah,
Well,
she
you-
really pounced on that return of serve.
Missy Elliott is playing some big-time paddle, Jerry.
Yeah, she is. It's fun.
See her grow as a player. Great
Yeah, see-
lob.
Marcella could sneak in behind that. There's a lot of moving pieces on that play.
If Dardis and Shay can get out of this game, it's going to really switch the pressure. This is a huge point. Go a long way towards who wins this set.
That's it. That's it. Way to step in. It's not a safe spot on the court.
Game.
I guess
Rodezno,
that took
Elliott,
courage,
they
Mark,
lead
from
5
Macy
games
Elliott to
2
step in and
the
take
first
that
set.
ball.
Fortune
Ladies,
favors
time
the
for new
bold.
ball.
Sports. Winning those big points. That's how you win paddle matches. Uline is the leading distributor of shipping, industrial, and packaging materials to businesses throughout North America. They ship over 2.5 million boxes every day, but they're so much more than a box company. More than 32,000 quality products are always in stock, ready to ship. Outstanding customer service means they're here when you need them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Uline, the best selection, products, and people for an unforgettable customer experience.
15 love.
Jerry, did you see how fast Dardis and Shay switched sides there? Didn't stop, just kind of walked around and got ready to play.
What do you think about that?
It's very un-Dardis and Shay-like.
Exactly.
And right now, they don't really have any answers. Smart play by Rodezno.
The update on the other women's semi-final. Harnish and Cooper won the first set 6-2, and they're up 4-3 in the second set.
They're going to be tough to beat this weekend.
Whoa.
What a shot
What
from Amy
a
Shay.
rip.
Off of the seam, no less.
You see how the power
15
behind that
all.
ball. Amy Shay can hit a dime on the court.
So, Jerry, it's 3:40. Just to give you an idea where the sun's going to be tomorrow when we start the final match of the 2019-20 season.
Oh, it was climbed over the net.
Hard to hit that drop shot while you're moving.
30,
She was
15.
coming into the net,
30-15, 2 points away from the first set.
Good deep serve there from Rodezno. I love those overheads from Rodezno. Just really controlling play. And there she hits one too short. And you see Amy Shay 5 feet to the right of the center hash hitting a forehand. Got to do a better job of keeping her honest.
You may see Elliott just dropped the head of her paddle slightly, and it's warm enough that that's enough to make the volley fly.
That's great ball from
Dig.
Cynthia Dardis. She kind of curled that one in.
Back 30 all, yes, 44
30,
degrees
40.
and very sunny.
Feels 88 degrees in our broadcast booth, Jerry Beyond. Boy, Rodezno's firing those serves in. There's the switch at the net. That's great overhead.
I don't know about that, Mark.
This is
Backside
creating
with
movement, yeah.
Amy Shay's backhand moving forward.
Yeah, but it kind of hugged the side wire, but I hear your point.
It's scary when you have Amy Shay rifling. Nice volley there.
Great read from Elliott.
She's got to make sure she keeps that paddle head up above her wrist on the volleys. Staying with the plan of hitting those overheads straight and deep, not giving Cynthia anything to work with, and they're forcing her to come up with the big shot off the deck.
Deuce.
Great volley from Elliott, and then she misses the relatively easy one with the wrist down.
Advantage receiver.
So you've got to punch that forward. You've got to make sure your paddle line stays straight.
Point for 5-3.
Oh, sneaky little shot by Amy Shay, and she
Ball was out.
pushes it long. That's a nice move, though. Pulled
Great
that
move,
ball
but that
by
volley
wide.
is so deceptive looking. It looks easy, but you're moving forward so fast. The target is so small. Another miss from Dardis. She's
Advantage
missed
server.
a boatload of forehands this first set, Jerry. Set point. Yep, pot that one up. And they saved the first set point. Back to
Deuce.
deuce.
They've got to find a way to get Amy Shay more involved. She's going to have to take some risks. Nice lob, nice and deep.
No communication back there.
Advantage receiver.
Another break opportunity. Well, that's a great volley.
Nice grab.
Misses that one long. Set
Deuce.
point number, up, back to deuce. Shay catches the lead cord for a winner. Notice she didn't
Advantage
apologize,
receiver.
Jerry.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I do.
Do
you want to talk about it?
No.
Third break opportunity this game.
A little pressure there by Cynthia Dardis, sneaking in behind Amy Shay's drive.
Oh, what was Cynthia doing swinging at that ball? That was a big Shay forehand. Oh, and she misses it long.
She's just, it looks like she's undecided now with her overhead choice. She would always just cut that ball. And now I think she's thinking a little bit more about placing it.
Oh,
Advantage server.
that looked like one of my forehands. It was wide by 4 boards. Okay, set point number 2. Another great volley from Rodezno. Okay, game, set, and match on the next court. Cooper Hanisch are through to their 3rd national final in the last 4 years.
There's Amy Shay. Oh! That was a wrong move for Macy Elliott to try to move that far left to take that shot. That was all Marcella Rodezno's. And she knows it. They need to mentally regroup here.
Another set point gone, and this is Dardis and Shay just hanging around.
They had that control, so it's very important that they just shake that off, keep moving forward. Marcella Rodezno is really serving well.
Amy Shay's too deep in the court for that, but that's what happens when you see so few balls. Sometimes you pull the trigger too quickly.
Cynthia does set up a good lob there that Marcella Rodezno was so far over to her right that she ended up taking it as a deep backhand overhead. That's an opportunity for Amy Shay to sneak in.
Set point number 3. Another let cord winner. Back to deuce.
Deuce. Ball was out. Advantage server.
Set point number 4. Macy Elliott's done such a great job volleying on her right hip.
That's the lob. That's the lob that she needs to keep picking on. She's getting that.
Game and first set.
All right, well,
Rodezno,
Rodezno,
6 games.
Elliott have continued in the flow that they won the last match, the quarterfinal match. They've got the same rhythm. They've got the same look. Let's see if Dardis and Shay can regroup and come back with a change of plan for the second set. And we will be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA Network presented by eNet Live.
When people think of Roto-Rooter, they typically just think plumbing and water cleanup. And they wouldn't be wrong, but we do a whole lot more. Roto-Rooter. Yeah, we do that too.
And welcome back to the APTA National Championships 2020. We're at the Country Club of Darien. We're watching the women's semifinals where the number 6 seeds just took the first set. Marcella Rodezno and Macy Elliott over the number 3 seed Cynthia Dardis and Amy Shay. And Mark,
Yes.
what are your thoughts here? Well, if you're Dardis and
burger.
Shay, it doesn't
Just
quite,
kidding.
it
The
started to
hamburger
feel
smells
like
good.
vintage Dardis and Shay towards this later part of that first set. But the beginning of it, I wasn't sure. I thought I was just looking at a different team.
Yeah, they're smiling. I was like, who are they? Did Abigail Burke get out there instead of Cynthia? Was there a replacement that we didn't hear about?
Well, it was more about the speed of play that I didn't recognize. You know, it was just now they've slowed it down a little bit. But I think the athleticism of Marcella Rodezno and Macy Elliott, they can get anything. Like that, I don't see the weakness. They're also showing a lot of maturity for a team that's first time in the semifinals and for a team that just started playing together this season.
It reminds me a little bit of Anna Brzova, her first time at Nationals at Indian Trail in 2013.
Looked like she belonged.
She looked like she belonged. She never had any doubts, and I see that in Macy Elliott. She's here to win. She's not here to make the semis or make the finals. She doesn't fear anybody, and you see that in her attitude on the court, and it's reflected in her play.
Yeah, she's very calm, very determined. I think her partner is so easygoing as well, Marcella Rodezno. I mean, keeps things light. Cynthia does taking a few practice serves, waiting for Marcella Rodezno.
Jerry, we have the men's quarterfinals coming up. It looks like we've got Araya Parsons are playing against Broderick Palmer. I suspect they're going to be on court 1, Jerry.
Well, we'll wait and see what our tour director, Jack Cameron, hands to us.
I suspect she's asking you for some input.
Comes.
And then Burris Ordoya versus Bostrom Anderson.
All right, so I'm thinking Dardis and Shay are discussing tactics, and as a team, they want to be able to wear their opponents down so they can't perform at the highest level.
Okay, Dardis and Shay did not have a hold in their 4 opportunities in the first set. And they really need one to start off set number 2. So here we go, Cynthia Dardis to serve.
15 love.
They just can't afford to let a team like Dardis and Shay off the hook.
Yeah, I was
they
so
will
impressed in the quarters after losing that really tough tiebreak, 10-8,
Yeah.
11-9.
Yep.
And it was all business.
Yep.
Right back at him, no let up.
And I told you, I thought Macy Elliott looked really ticked off.
30.
There
And
they hit
she used
consecutive forehands off the snowboard.
Yeah, you can't be loose here. You cannot. Dardis and Shay will take every opportunity. 2 quick points. This is a very experienced team that have won almost every title.
I would say
Except-
virtually everything.
Yep. Grand Prix, they have over many, many years. Can never count them out.
Well, they just simply compete. Very smart strategically
And mentally.
and mentally.
Yeah, they're just happy to hit one more ball.
Huge backhand from Elliott. Such a patient point, just waited for the opportunity
30,
and pulled the trigger at
15.
the right moment.
And a high percentage shot over the low part of the net.
Great lob. Shay lets it bounce.
Oh, nice shot. Shoulder high.
Great ball.
Couldn't get out of the way. That's the right shot.
40, 15.
I always feel like if I've been hit, Jerry, it's my fault, not theirs, as long as it's from the neck down.
Yes, they're not headhunting. That
Right.
was definitely the right shot to take. But
Absolutely.
vintage Dardis and Shay here. Understanding the moment. Taking a second, make sure that they got their strategy. It's important for Elliott Rodezno to keep the pace up.
Ball was out. Game.
That's
And
the
there we
first
go.
game,
We have their
Dardis and
first
Shay.
hold.
They
Second
have a
set.
lead.
Couple of missed returns that game from Elliott Rodezno,
Dardis
kind of
and
opened
Shay
the door.
lead the second set, 1 game to love.
The crowd is a little bit more subdued this second set, Mark.
It's early, Jerry.
Okay. My God, it was deafening that first few games. I thought, how am I going to keep that up?
Another
15
missed
love.
forehand from Dardis.
That's Macy Elliott serving to Amy Shay.
That's clearly the direction the wind is
15
blowing.
all.
That's south, pretty much.
And she's also looking directly into the sun.
There's Amy Shay
Yeah.
way over forcing the error.
15, 30.
It's a very deliberate Dardis and Shay right now.
Oh, good swing by Amy Shay there.
30 all.
Another
Slow.
missed
40,
forehand.
30.
And she's just got to keep swinging at that ball. That's her shot. Reminds me of the great line from Charles Barkley. Good players have confidence when things are going well. Great players have confidence when things are going poorly. Just keep believing in your shot. Reversion to the mean. Couple of forehand volleys
Yeah,
there.
right. Rodezno's got
Rodezno.
great hands. She's got to be careful. Can't give her too much pace in that corner.
Lucky she caught the seam there. That's
Be a function of the sun, but they've got to be careful playing any overheads hard and deep into Amy Shay's corner.
And if they're going to do it, they've got to find that back wire first or the seam, which is very effective.
Seam with a roll is very effective.
Yeah, very effective.
That was a good hold.
Elliott, Rodezno. Games are tied 1-1. Second set.
The pressure shifts back over to Dardis and Shay. Good swing from Macy
15
Elliott,
love.
catches the top of the tape. See if she continues to believe in that shot. She's missed a few early second set.
Again, look where Cynthia Dardis is.
Middle of the box.
Rodezno's got to go down the line. Make her reach for that.
But there she goes
15
right at her,
all.
which is, you know, a shot you'd expect Cynthia Dardis to make.
Yeah. Nice
That's a
spot.
great
Nice
spot,
to
yeah.
the right armpit. Nice call. Cover by Rodezno. Here's Dardis and Shay calling every single lob. They've played together for years, but they don't take anything to chance. Well, it's Macy Elliott's new shot. Her block lob off the deck took away time. She's added that to her
15,
array of shots.
30.
But I think Dardis Shay are switching sides of the court too much with their overheads, forcing the shift on a regular basis, and there they got caught.
But I got to give credits to Macy's block lob. She didn't have
Absolutely.
that shot a few months ago. You can see where she took time away and caught them in a shift. And she'll be laughing, I know. We talked about her new shot, the block lob.
There it is again.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not the shot. Great chase down, Cynthia Dardis. Here it comes.
Yep. Underlay.
I think Cynthia was
Ball was
running
out.
before Amy Shay's lob
wait,
came
wait.
over
Ball
the
was
net.
I
out.
think she's calling out.
Ball was out. Ball was out.
I
Which
can't
ball
see.
was
We're
out? The
looking
ball that-
right into the sun. I
Macy
think
Elliott
the
hit?
side. Yeah, Macy Elliott's shot.
That was awfully
Ball was
late
out.
to call it.
Ball was out.
Well, I think Cynthia called it out, and then
Score is
the
30.
umpire.
The interesting thing
I
is the
think that's what
trajectory of the ball, you never would have thought it was out because it came off so high. That's really surprising.
They're baiting her to hit that shot.
There's the one you wanted, the down the line forehand.
Yep. Macy Elliott should be looking for her backhand in the middle.
Like that.
There it is. Yep.
That was a laser beam. Did that remind you a lot of Lauren Mandel?
It did,
It
actually.
was exactly like
Advantage
Lauren Mandel.
Receiver.
But
Ripped
that's the
that
shot.
backhand.
They need to have Macy Elliott come out and take a few more of those. Marcella will hit it, but she's letting some of these balls go into the back screen, and it's letting Dardis and Shay off the hook a little bit. Nice deep
great
lobs. Block lob again by Macy Elliott.
Great patience by Rodezno on the wires there. Just waited for that ball to come off. Great
Good
trail.
call. Yep.
Another seam. A little confusion at the net there.
Wonderful lob by Amy Shay.
Oh,
And that
great
she
shot
finds it.
from Macy
Huge.
Elliott.
So Marcella Rodezno, the way she
Game.
moves on the court and how effortlessly
Elliott, Rodezno lead
she
2
is with
games
her
to 1
shots, it's
in the
kind of like
second set.
float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. You know, she's no grunting, there's no swatting, it's just like a seamless flow. She's fun to watch. And got a very nice compliment with Macy Elliott, you know, hitting the big ball in the middle. She can actually hit it off of both sides. So for Dardis and Shay, where is the safe spot on the court?
Well, I'm so impressed by Rodezno's ability to dial it down and deliver what she needs to. Because we've seen other matches where she does a lot of driving off of both wings. But here she kind of senses her partner's hot. She's lobbing a lot down the line, looking to set up the Elliott forehand. And so far it's been brilliant.
15 love.
And serving very well this match.
Does Carl Levinutt look very nervous to you, Jerry
I
Vian?
think he looks
He's
looks
very
pretty
nervous
good.
watching Macy Elliott play.
So Carl Levinutt, just for those of you who may not know, he's the director of racket sports here at the Country Club of Darien, and he has been working with his assistant, Macy Elliott. So he's a very
15 up.
proud pro right now.
And also the co-tournament director.
Oh, that too.
Been a busy man.
Just a monster job this weekend. Nice rip by Cynthia Dardis. That's the volley, straight, deep, and slow. Counter the attack. Caught the line.
And there's this swoop you talked about. Great overhead there from Amy Shay.
15
15-30. Boy, just another terrific volley. Amy Shay spotted that ball perfectly, and once again, Macy Elliott had the answer.
Staying with the game plan, hitting their overhead straight and deep, making Cynthia Dardis have to take a chance off the deck.
30 all.
And just far enough over that it would be way too risky for Amy Shay to come over and hit, but she's going to have to start taking some chances.
And here she comes. That's just too far to go.
Too far to go, and they're closing the net. They're just
30.
volleying right behind her. So
And she came over and she didn't really hit the ball.
No.
She kind of guided it. You can't put yourself in that position and not really go after the ball. Point for 3-1. Boy, you can see Dardis fighting the sun there.
oh,
I think Amy Shay lost that ball in the sun.
I don't know.
Game.
It's how she's setting her
Elliott,
paddle now. She's really
Rodezno, lead
has
3 games
changed
to
some of her
1 in the
overheads a
second
little
set.
bit. I feel she's always has cocked her wrist and set it because she's going to cut it. And now I feel like she's wavering. She's kind of caught between, am I going to push it or am I going to hit it?
Okay, 3-1. They're on the edge right here, Jerry. That's great disguise from Rodezno. She's hit so many of those cuts into the corner. Dardis was on her back on her
Love
heels.
15.
Hits a drop shot. She's not ready for it. It's a little early for a must hold, but we're getting close. Great lob, opens the court up.
Down the line was open there. Macy Elliott.
Great get from Amy Shay, but to no avail.
She had so many options. Once that court opened up, she had so many choices.
Love 30.
What's that Australian expression about the water?
Water's going down the drain.
Feels that way right now, doesn't it?
It does, but don't count Dardis and Shay out just yet. They're still plotting and planning.
It's only 3-1. But right now it seems like youth is not going to be denied today.
15-30.
I don't know how Amy Shay got away from that ball.
They're just showing incredible composure.
Okay.
Or did she not get away from that ball?
Excuse me, photographer. You need a Band-Aid. Could you please get me some Band-Aids?
Was she bleeding?
Not sure.
That ball looked like it might have gone through Amy.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like Dardis has got some blood in her hand and needs a Band-Aid.
Score is 15-30.
She's not going to play with blood on her hand. In the previous match, Marcela Rodezno scraped her knuckles right across the side screen and was bleeding during our interview. I think she took care of that.
Can you get coronavirus from someone's blood, Jerry?
Oh, please, let's not talk about
If
that.
you can play, you should play. And if you cannot play, we will get you a Band-Aid.
That's a really good response from chair umpire Hissey. If you want to take an injury timeout, take one. Otherwise, let's play.
Right. Very important, again, that Elliott and Rodezno stay focused, stay with that mojo
Next
feeling
time I
that
would
they
have
get.
Band-Aids in my pocket.
Okay,
I'll have
looks
Band-Aids
like
next time.
they're playing.
There's someone in the stands.
Yeah. I'm sorry. No, we're just gonna get a Band-Aid on it.
Right. Macy Elliott's right. You know, there's only a certain amount of
We're
time.
just getting a Band-Aid on it.
That Dana Parsons, she's got EMT training.
Amy, can you get the wrapper?
Gosh, an odd time in the match for this to happen. I think if they were up 6-1, 3-1, it'd be an injury timeout.
$15-30.
All right, the score is 15-30.
Okay, Dardis to serve.
30-all.
Oh, couldn't tell whether that one came over the net initially. Love 30, back to 30 all. Critical moment right here. Dardis and Shay looking right into the sun. They really struggled last game seeing the ball.
They're keeping it to the ad side, which makes it a little more manageable.
Lets that one drop, and that takes him to game point. This would be a huge hold.
And again, this is just speed of play between the points. The Dardis and Shay have always managed to their advantage. They're never rushed. They're never going to serve unless they both know exactly what the play is. Pushed it long.
Deuce.
This is a testing point for Macy and Elliott. Macy Elliott and Marcella Rodezno. This is a real test. See that, like that's feel that how the pace is just now coming to a grind, and they've got to be careful to keep their energy, keep their momentum, keep that fight feeling going.
They're just so composed.
Nice move. Good volley by Amy Shay.
Advantage
That's the
receiver.
pressure that Elliott Rodezno are bringing to bear from the backcourt. She knows if she doesn't get a good overhead, it's going to get punished.
Did you hear the sound of Elliott's forehand? She like thumped it.
Tiernan Cavana has done so many things this week. And now she's working as a sun shield.
Can they point for a 4-1 lead?
A couple of great volleys from Elliott. Fake drop shot.
Yeah, staying with the speed and the placement of the overheads. Channeling Cynthia Dardis to have to take the shot off the deck, and then they close the net and volley behind her, and they are 4-1, two games
Rodezno,
away
Elliott,
for
they
a
lead
spot
4 games
in the
to
women's
1
final.
In the second set.
That was just perfect,
They
Terry.
won
They
the first
baited
set.
her deep in the court,
6
closed the
games
net.
to 2.
Here's the bait.
Yep.
She went for it. But they are so composed for a team that's never been here before. Just remarkable.
Hey, Macy, new ball.
Yep, every 7 games they get a new
No.
ball.
I'll just be louder. Yeah, sorry, I'm more comfortable.
Okay. 4-1.
Macy Elliott serving, the old low and go. And they're playing the ball straight. My guess would be it's a function of the sun. They send that ball over to Cynthia Dardis, which has been the play. They're going to be looking into the sun.
Shay catches the top of the net.
Love.
15 love. Just to remind everybody, we're going to have the first 2 men's quarterfinals starting at 4:30. Burris Erdoya, Bostrom Anderson, Araya Parsons, Broderick Palmer. Lob miss long. And it's 30 love. Boy, this has been a comprehensive beating so far. And again, Elliott with that variety on the overhead, throws in the big roller. Great return there from Amy Shay. That's 1 back, 40-15.
40-15.
Just a great crowd here, an amazing atmosphere. I thought Shay was going to take that ball down the Elliott line.
She hasn't really had too much opportunity to hit, has she? They've really done a wonderful job of shutting down the play, just staying disciplined, right speed of play.
Elliott, Rodezno,
And they're forcing her to come
they
a
lead
long
5
way to
games
hit the
1
forehand.
in the second set.
And that takes them within 4 points of their first spot in a national final. Think there'll be some people here from CCD tomorrow, Jerry?
Let's not count Dardis and Shay out yet, Mark Fischel. I have watched them play for so many years and could call them Houdini. They somehow managed to get themselves out of trouble. So it's very important for Elliott Rodezno to keep their nerve.
Yep. Kind of gave away a couple of points to start this game.
30-love.
Winning that last point is hard, but it's a lot easier when you're up 5-1.
Just need to keep their composure, and Dardis and Shay will stay focused. There's a little push overhead from Cynthia Dardis. Nice lob.
Oh, great volley from Macy Elliott. Good forehand there from Dardis.
Huge
Finds the right
play.
hip.
40-love.
Oh, that was a nervous volley there. They're the hard ones, Mark, right? No pace,
Game,
shoulder
Dardis and
high.
Shay.
She's
They
coming
trail
in, she's looking
second
into the
set,
sun.
2 games to 5.
Yeah, I don't know that I qualify that one as a hard one, Jerry.
Elliott Rodezno won
She
the
would
first
closed
set,
in pretty
6
tight
games to
and-
3.
That was pretty bad. They're watching our stream everywhere, Jerry. Big shout out to Corey Parr down in Winston-Salem.
Marcella Rodezno serving for a spot in the Women's 2020 National Championship Final.
And she's been firing her serve in.
She
Interesting
has.
to see if she gets tight.
Don't say those words. Be interesting to see if she stays consistent.
Great overhead there from Macy Elliott.
So again, we talked
15
about that
love.
spin, that cut on the ball.
Great drop shot from Rodezno. And they're within 2 points.
30-love.
Wow, Dardis
40
has missed
love.
so many of those forehand returns.
Match point.
3 of them if they need them.
Okay, that's the Amy Shay's overhead that we're used to seeing, that cutter. She's so effective. It stays deep. She can line up the neck.
There's one match
40,
point saved.
15.
She gonna drive this one, Jerry, or lob it?
Drive.
Great call. And here it comes,
She
and
hit her
there
on
it
the way
goes.
through.
Game, set, and match. Elliott Rodezno,
Game,
6-2,
set,
6-2.
match.
And they'll play for the national championship tomorrow at
Rodezno,
1 p.m.
Elliott.
Well, Cynthia Dardis got
Win.
hit on the way in with that ball, so just taking a moment here. But well played by Marcella Rodezno and Macy Elliott. And,
Nice match,
you know,
ladies.
congratulations to Dardis and Shay again. in the semifinals of a
Score
national
was
tournament,
6-2,
national
6-2.
championships.
Amazing,
Very-
just amazing what they've
Very
accomplished.
impressive. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back with a quick interview with our winners of the match, and then followed up with the first men's semifinals.
First set of men's semifinals.
Oh, thank you. I was being athletic. Okay.
The world of Rolex is filled with stories of perpetual excellence. Since 1990, the Solheim Cup has elevated women's golf. Team USA challenges Team Europe, upholding the traditions of sportsmanship and teamwork. As the women's game grows, the Solheim Cup will continue to shape its future. This is a story of perpetual excellence, the story of Rolex.
I play to be a role model in my neighborhood.
I play to be part of the team.
I play to be stronger than my brothers.
I play to channel my energy in a positive way.
I play because the field is where I shine. I play to be a part of something bigger than myself.
I play to stay healthy. I play to feel powerful.
I play to win.
When people think of Roto-Rooter, they typically think plumbing and water cleanup. They wouldn't be wrong, but there's also more to the picture. We do a little of this, we do a little of that. We clean things up and we check things out. Yeah, we may do both, but we also do a whole lot more. Roto-Rooter, yeah, we do that too.
The world of Rolex is filled with stories of perpetual excellence. For Rolex and tennis, the tradition began in 1978 and has grown to include the most iconic majors and tournaments since, supporting the legends, champions, and rising stars committed to the future of the game. This is a story of perpetual excellence, the story of Rolex.
It's a 60-year love affair, as passionate as the day it began. It's where the dream and the reality are one and the same. It's safety in its most exhilarating form. It is the 2020 E-Class, the quintessential Mercedes-Benz, made new all over again. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Macy Elliott, Marcella Rodezno, well done.
Thank you very much.
Another
that was
fun
a lot of
match?
fun. Yeah.
Another fun match, yes.
So how difficult was that playing into the sun?
Brutal. And when you're at the net, there's a couple times where you just have to swing. You cannot see the ball. You're just swinging aimlessly.
Especially on this side. On this side of the court, it was very difficult to see with the overheads. I don't know if you noticed, most of our overheads started to go to the other corner of a sudden, just because we couldn't see.
Yeah, that's why we started hitting to Amy, because if we hit to Cynthia on that, we couldn't see a thing. So.
And listen, you've never played those guys before except in a practice match. So did you have a strategy going in, or were you just feeling your way through the match?
I mean, obviously, they're both legends in platform tennis. We know that they'll stay out there for a very long time. We knew that they lob really well. We were just going to try to feel out how to move them as much as we could, and then how to dip the balls in front of them. And we kind of try to figure out how to do that. Is that right?
And this one didn't help that much. We had a strategy, but it wasn't working.
At the end, we were going against the sun, not against the other team.
The sun became the third opponent.
The sun became the opponent, yes.
So, yeah, there was challenges, but I was impressed by your composure. It looked like you started this match the way that you finished the other quarterfinals, and that's a skill set in itself, because sometimes you have a big win, you have a big tournament, and you have a letdown in the next match. But mentally, what did you guys do to prepare for the semi-final?
Well, to be honest, we went to a room and we just sat down there and tried to, meditate a little bit before the match, and I think that helped us. We tried to, keep ourselves away from everyone else and just try to focus on the next match.
And even away from each other. We took a 10-minute break from the 48 hours we've been together.
All right, well, you're into the final tomorrow. Have you played against Cooper and Harnish before?
We did, back in Philly 2 weeks ago.
I think I saw that match.
Yeah, I know you knew that, but yes.
What do you think the challenges are for that match?
It's going to be kind of similar to what we started off with this one, that they're both very good players, and we know they're going to force us to be out there for a long time, and they adjust really well, and they come up with plan A through Z, and we'll just have to be ready to be out there for a while.
And we're going to try to keep the ball away from Annika's backhand. Yes.
Well, listen, congratulations. It was wonderful to watch you guys competing at such a high level, and good luck tomorrow. We'll look forward to seeing the match, and I think the women's final's on at 1 tomorrow morning, so you guys celebrate it a little bit tonight, not too much.
A little bit, and then move on, right?
All right.
All right, thanks so much,
done.
Sherry. Really appreciate it.
Great.
Thank you for having us, and thank everyone for watching us.
Oh, you might give it a shout out.
Yes,
your hometown support.
That atmosphere was amazing.
That would be
amazing.
I'd be remiss
Yes.
not to mention the support you're getting.
Yes. Both of our members have really supported us in playing all these tournaments, and this was really amazing. Just absolutely amazing.
All right. Well, good luck tomorrow.
All right. Thank you.
We'll look forward to a great match.
Yep.
Well done.